Good evening, friends, and welcome to Littleport. Just one brief, small mention. Jackie, I can see you. You're there. So, welcome everyone. Technical issues aside, we are up and running. It is Littleport. It is Thursday night. It's 7:44. And we're good to go. So welcome everyone to both those watching live and those who will be watching in the future, both on Facebook and YouTube, right across the globe. And we have got a truly international feel about us tonight, but more about that later. Because I've also got a surprise for a friend of the church tonight, who lives many, many thousands of miles away, and it's quite exciting. And I've been busy on the pooter, as Reverend Lynn would have said to me a number of years ago. So tonight, what have we got? Well, we've got the usual Thursday night mix of spiritual upliftment, love, light, laughter, philosophy, and truth that life is indeed eternal. And I am so pleased to welcome all of you here, week in, week out, to what is, let's face it, my bedroom. And it's had a lot of traffic over the last year, let's be honest with you. But of course, I've decorated it already. We have Lynn will recognize that thing there, I'm sure, because she lent it to me about 20 years ago and I've still got it. And of course, nothing would be complete without Uncle Tom's clock watching over, who is basically a spiritual patron of the church from the realms of light. And of course, speaking of the realms of light, no Thursday night would be complete without someone who's going to bring those who live there forward to us to show that life is, as I said, eternal. So let's not delay, my friends. Let's crack straight on and welcome our friend, our medium for the night, the one and only Carlos. Are you there?
I'm there.
Excellent. Now I was commenting just before the service. Your image quality is stunning, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
The lighting is perfect. The image is crisp and clear, and I'm sure that the realms of light internet cyberspace feed will be just as crystal clear.
That's neat. Yeah.
So what have you been up to, my friend?
Well, apart from moving and not having an argument with hairdressers, as you can see.
Same here, love.
Yeah. Please come next week because
yes.
we'll all feel better. Life has been boring because I haven't been doing my work. I haven't done many of these type of thing. So this is very special to me. I feel rusty. I feel a little bit puzzled, but nothing like trust to sort of get you through it. And this is why I was asking, where's your mother? Because one needs all the crutches that you can to feel comfortable. And it's just that Littleport is a very special place to me. And, I'm not going to give you all the details why, but Littleport wants me in there because I love being there. There is true friends. There is wonderful people that has been so pivotal in making me feel that true love and friendship is there.
Bless you. Well, let me say, Carlos, you are always welcome when we feel exactly the same about you. Now, I will correct you on one thing. You say rusty and puzzled. We say rustic and a charming intrigue. So,
maybe, yes.
Now, exactly. Now, speaking of charming intrigue, it's that time in our evening where we welcome onto the screen, and I think it's probably the nicest drum roll she's had in a few weeks. We do wind each other up frequently, and that's what people who've known each other for 20 years do. But I know her as a good mate. You know her as a good mate. The rest of the universe knows her as Revlin. Are you there?
Yes.
Hello.
God bless everybody. And thank you for inviting me this evening. And it's 23 years, Nick.
Yes, I know. I was
But
trying
who's
to skim a
counting?
couple off, you know.
No. And it's so lovely to see Carlos having the same problems as I am. Because I remember when I went to have my operation many years ago, when I was going to have a lump taken out of my neck here, the Professor Jonon said to me, well, you know, you have the same structure as I do. You know, we have a thick jowl here. And he said, it'll be all right. You know, you'll have a more defined jawline, because the other side, you'll see, is like that. And equally, the hair, when my hair is not cut, just like Carlos, you know, my hair is like my brother's hair. And it, you know, I put loads and loads of sort of grease on it. I'm sure that Carlos does the same.
No, he
Try
doesn't.
and tame it.
Carlos doesn't. This is completely
all
natural.
right, then. Oh, yours is, oh, that's natural. Oh, fine. Well, see, mine just sticks out. So I have to try and put something on to put it down a bit.
So does this, but
yeah, like that. Yeah, well, I'm trying to sort of keep it down a bit. But yeah, so it's having foreign hair, Carlos, that does it.
Yes. This is my mother.
Yes, people, yeah, English people don't appreciate the trouble we have with our hair. But anyway, I'll skate over that very quickly.
Oh, drum roll.
What I was concerned with today, first of all, I spent an hour. You know, we're doing all these virtual things, aren't we now? And they have their own problems, and they throw up their own difficulties. But we have these virtual services, and this afternoon I was able to access a virtual service of remembrance for what we call Yom HaShoah, which is a day of the Shoah, or in Greek, actually, not English, it's the Holocaust. But this one is particularly April the 8th is for really basically the remembrance of the Jewish people, for those family and friends who perished in that. And we have enough people to mourn, as you can imagine. And an hour of seeing testimony, as well as you know, the service of remembrance, showing us what we were remembering, is just too dreadful for words, really. And it's not surprising that so many people, you know, so many Jews actually can't really talk about that, or, you know, don't want to talk about it. But the fact is that it happened. It's man's inhumanity to man, and just totally dreadful. And, you know, the saying for the sort of slogan was never, never, never again. And of course we mustn't, but of course we mustn't forget that intolerance ultimately leads to the gas chambers, and it's intolerance of one human being for another human being. It starts with us, you know, as St. Francis of Assisi said, you know, peace begins with ourselves, peace begins with me, he said. And he made that lovely poem and prayer, you know, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. So I think we have to look at that and try and find that peace within ourselves and that love within ourselves, to try and overcome the horrors that we're confronted with on a daily basis. In fact, as we sit here being bored, Carlos, you know, we have to give thanks sometimes for being bored. Yeah. Because there was one little episode, I'll tell you, that this man who was getting on a bit in years remembered being in a camp as a child, and he was talking about these steps that they had to walk up, 186 steps, and so many people actually got murdered on those steps. And he said he was going to sit on those steps and rest, and just rest on one of those steps, that all those people got murdered. And wouldn't they have just loved to have been able to sit and rest and be bored for a while, you know, where he was sitting, you know, on this day. And I just felt it was so so important. And I think to be a spiritualist, I think, is to embrace those principles. And I would like, I know I don't usually do this, but I would like very much to recite our principles so that people know exactly what we're about. And we say this: we believe in the fatherhood and motherhood of God, the brotherhood and sisterhood of humankind, communication and communion of spirits, and the ministry of angels. We believe in the continuous existence of the soul and personal responsibility. We believe in compensation and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil deeds done on earth. And we also believe that eternal progress is open to every human soul. And we say this is with liberty of interpretation. We also say that we accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Saviour and as the light of the world. So that's what we believe in. And our objects are to uphold the traditional principles and standards of spiritualism, to establish the practice of genuine mediumship in Great Britain, to educate the general public about spiritualism and its genuine practices of mediumship and healing. And I think, for instance, Carlos, you were so right, because you talked about people who were really psychic or who read body language, what we call cold reading, and give readings based on that. And in a way, and I laughed, didn't I? Because you said there are actually, you were horrified that people talked about picking up emanations from shopping trolleys in supermarkets.
Yeah.
And the thing is this, what we need to know is that is actually psychic. And of course, and I said to you, didn't I, that we know that we can pick up anything from anything, psychometrize anything using our psychic abilities. And if we're very, very adept psychics, we could indeed pick up a reading from a supermarket trolley, and anything else come to that. But of course, as you so rightly point out, that is not mediumship. That is not being the exchange between this world and the next. You're absolutely right, Carlos. And the fact is that what we uphold is mediumship, genuine mediumship, the like of which people will experience tonight through you, Carlos. And, and I noticed actually in our pre-service chat that you were picking up even more of our English language.
Yes.
You said at one point, you said that your dog was knackered.
Yes.
Knackered, I tell you. And that is something that's usually reserved only for those who've been born here and spoken the language since they were babies.
I've been here
I think to say
years.
that, how many years?
50.
50. Well, that's still not my Bubba, my Polish Bubba, bless her. All her family, by the way, were killed in the Warsaw Ghetto. They were either killed in the ghetto during the uprising, or when it was razed to the ground, they were all marched off to Treblinka and got murdered there. That was my, they were all my great grandparents, my aunties and uncles, cousins, everybody, their friends, everyone got killed. But what my Bubba was here for 70 years, and my Dutch grandfather always used to have a go at her and say, "It's about bloody time you spoke the language," because she still couldn't get a grasp of English. But she thought she was speaking English, and she wasn't, Carlos. So you've done very, very well for 50 years. Probably when you've been here 70, you will add more to your vocabulary that you shouldn't. But, I think I thought that was so amusing when I heard that. I thought, wow, he really is speaking it like a native now.
Yes.
But yeah, so here we all are. And as Reverend Nick mentioned earlier, we have got friends in all parts of the world now who tune into our spiritualist service here on a Thursday night and other things that we do. And we so welcome them. And, as somebody whose family came here from other places, mostly, I do appreciate people living in other places and being able to tune in to hear. And again, it comes back to that fact that we are actually virtually in touch with each other. They wouldn't perhaps be able to get on an aeroplane or a ship and get over here to take part with us in our services, but they are able, through the wonderful invention, that we've got here, they're able to join with us tonight and any night, that we put it out there. And it's so wonderful, isn't it, to be able to be in touch with the whole world like this. And no matter what religion you are, no matter what culture you come from, no matter what country you live in, you're welcome. You're very welcome to be with us in the brotherhood and sisterhood of humankind. And this is what we're all about as spiritualists. So I think that as long as everybody understands that, you're all welcome. And what is more, it isn't compulsory. If you don't like us, you know what you can do. Well, you know what you can do, don't you? You can turn us off, mate. You know what I mean? So no worries. But God bless you all. And I'm sure that you're all going to have a wonderful evening of spirit communication, upliftment, and wonderful signs that your loved ones are still around you, still able to care for you, and that you will be healed, that they will send their healing rays from the ministry of angels above. You will feel a lot better after you've been with us for a little while tonight. God bless you all.
God bless you, Lynn, and thank you. Just a couple of housekeeping pointers. Michael, you obviously missed last week because I did that at the beginning of the service last week. He knows what I'm talking about. And actually, talking about getting the colloquial terms, I remember 23 years ago, a young lady turning up in this, what was it the BBC described us as? A dreary backwater. Sorry, I'm still getting on that one as well. I remember your arrival, and you would have always said communication. You're very, very rolling your R's on that one, and you've been with us in the fence for so long now. You do the same as what the rest of us do and call it communication. And I think it's wonderful.
It is, isn't it?
It is, exactly. It's
I can always be wrong.
Proper Fenland communication. I love it. And I think it's wonderful. But reeling back the humour for a moment, I'd just like to add to what Lynn said about the Holocaust and share a small story that I think actually ties the two pieces in. Because obviously Lynn also said that everyone is welcome so long as they understand the importance of the principles, and especially just being good to each other. Now, everyone knows that I'm obsessed with TV shows and that I quote them from time to time. I am going to do that again. However, I will say that I did do some research and digging into this particular quote, and it's not made up. It is a genuine quote that was used out of the annals of history. And I'm talking, of course, of tonight, at least, The West Wing, because I've been a big fan of President Bartlett, who never was. And one of his team was Jewish, who worked. One of his what is it they call them? Staffers. He was the head of communications, Toby Ziegler, and he was talking about the power of prayer in the Holocaust. And he said that his father used to have a friend who'd come round and play pinochle on a Sunday. And I haven't Googled what pinochle is yet. I do apologize. I will have a look. But they were talking about the Holocaust and something that his father's friend had witnessed. And one of those people that were with him in the concentration camp had actually got down on his knees and started praying. And he said, "Why are you praying? Look where we are." And he says, "I'm praying and thanking God." And he says, "Well, even worse, what are you thanking God for?" And he said, "I'm thanking God that I'm not like them." There is always something to be thankful for in this world. And that for me just did it. And I know Lynn will appreciate that particular story, but we at the New Christian Spiritualist Society will steal any wonderfully important story from any religion, because all of those particular parts are most absolutely valid as part of those principles that we hold so dear. In actual fact, we would be not holding our principles dear if we didn't repeat those tales. So God bless all of you. And I would hope that there are a few spirit people up there right now saying Bamet. And on that note, we'll say thank you, Lynn. God bless you.
Baruch Hashem.
Well, now, Carlos, it is time to get some more words of wisdom and upliftment. And I don't know what he's got planned for us as ever. But are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Alan, are you there?
Good. I am. Good evening, everybody.
Hey, I was worried that you got stuck in a time warp there, love.
And thank you for those words, Lynn. As always, very uplifting. I'm hoping tonight's reading is uplifting to everyone, as it was to me when I read it. As a lot of people know, that I've not been in a good place for the last few weeks, and I found that this actually lifted me up big time. I was going back to my old home today for a quick visit, and so I wasn't in a real good place this morning when I found this, and this actually made my day, to be quite honest with you. And it is generally about sort of mental health and where we can sink to. But I hope you all like it. It's called The Mountain, and it is by Laura Ding Edwards. If the mountain seems too big today, then climb a hill instead. If morning brings you sadness, it is okay. Just stay in bed. If the day ahead feels heavy and your plans feel like a curse, there's no shame in rearranging. Don't make yourself feel worse. If a shower stings it like needles and a bath feels like you'll drown, if you haven't washed your hair for days, don't throw away your crown. A day is not a lifetime. A rest is not defeat. Don't think of it as failure, just a quiet, kind retreat. It's okay to take a moment from an anxious, fractured mind. The world will not stop turning while you get realigned. The mountain will still be there when you want to try again. You can climb it in your own time. Just love yourself till then. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful, Alan. Thank you so much. And absolutely, I totally feel it ties in, as always. And it also reminds me, of course, as well, as how I finish most of my prayers these days, that we ask not that you move the mountain, just give us the strength to climb.
Absolutely,
and I think that is vastly appropriate. And Alan, I know you'll find a way of getting up on the website for us at some point in the next 24 hours. And
yes.
Even if you haven't got that ability, I know you'll just forward it to me and make me do it.
Yeah.
So Alan, as ever, thank you.
Yeah, you know, and with that message comes, you know, to one and all listening, and as far as we can actually reach out, that all the ministers and the members that within our movement are all there with a listening ear whenever someone is in need.
Absolutely. As I said to someone earlier via text, confidentiality is a given even though
Yes.
I still have to remind you. And this is the thing, you know, I mean, and, you know, also, you know, I know we've spoke about it in the past, Carlos, but you minister to those who come to you as well,
Yes.
because it's what you do, Carlos, is ministry, because you are helping those in need and teaching them how to get over that mountain. And I just think that we all need to remember this from time to time.
Yes.
Well, I don't particularly like when people might get bored because everybody is talking and talking without sort of. But there are times like tonight where I just have to rumble on a little bit because things that are very dear, very important to me, we are discussing them in different blobs. But I like to sort of bring this together, if I may. And the reason for that is when I was a young child, one of the first books I read was Exodus. And I could not believe what the Jewish people went through during the period before they got to Palestine, etc. And then since then, this was something that was very much on my mind, and it has been so many times where more and more of the chaotic things that did happen and the terrible things that did happen. And then I came across the thing that epitomizes all this, which is Fiddle on the Roof, which I've seen at about 3 times in the theater, and I don't know how many times the film. And the thing is that this is very much the complete, you could say, the Antichrist for me, because what I believe is that we should stand for what we are and be accepted. And yes, but for some of those people, it was no choice because the age of understanding that we have got in our community, where we are more compassionate and things like that. There is all these bellicose people who will do terrible things to human beings, etc. And I think that some of the people around them must be great cowards because they cannot race against, sort of taking human life in the most inhumane way. So, being that today is the 8th and is a day of remembrance, I have always feel that I was a pacifist. I didn't want to go into any kind of confrontation, not even an argument with anybody, never mind anything. But if there is one thing that I will defend, is the Jewish country, the Jewish people, because I think that they had enough. But that is one thing on the side. Just, I just got to get this out of my chest because it's something that I've believed for so many years. And it's the sort of thing that being the day that is today. So I think that you will forgive me for rumbling it a little bit. But I also feel that the other part of the message that has been given tonight is the let there be and whatever, and let it begin with me. And I think that one thing that I've learned since I have tried to become a medium, or I never said that I was a medium, but to try to be one, because I always remember one of my best friends, Edith. She sat me on a table one day in front of me, and she said, "Now you are not leaving this table until you look at me at the eye and you said, 'I'm a medium.'" And this was at about 4 years ago, and she meant what she said. You are a medium, and she virtually put that down my throat. You have to say that you are. Okay, but the thing is that I think that we all, the main thing that we have to do is to understand that we are also spirit, and there is a spirit around us all the time, and trying to connect and to try to communicate. Uh, it is, I mean, it happens in so many different ways. Sometimes it's a flash of light that you see, sometimes it's somebody that you feel, sometimes it's a feeling in your bodies. But we all got to take account that there are things that we cannot explain, and try to ask your guides and helpers, ask within, to unfold this kind of path or lessons or way of life, or whatever you want to call it. We all have different ways of expressing ourselves. But I always asked to be given that sort of understanding, to be a better person, and to be not for the gallery, but for those who are in need. And is something that to me is the beginning of trying to be part of this movement, that I got to help people to try to help themselves to understand who they are and go forth. And that sometimes the messages that they get, they have to digest what has been said. It's not just I have from Auntie Flo or whatever. Is what is around you, and why Auntie Flo came to give you a message, to tell you I'm here. And sometimes you can get some wonderful answers from that. If nothing else, you don't have to try to be a medium or try to force yourself to anything, but just trying to understand why that message was given to you. And I think that I've expanded myself enough. Thank you for listening to me.
Always, Carlos. We actually do cut the beginning part a little bit short every time you come on, because we know that you are going to give some of your philosophy too. So we make space for it.
Thank you.
And having watched Lynn reacting to what you have been saying, I think that she would quite categorically state that you, as well as being a medium, are indeed a top banana. So, so thank you. As we're going down the colloquials, not that I'm giving away what she's been doing while she's been watching at all. I am so naughty. People tend to forget that I can still see them. But there we go. It was Carlos. I totally agree with you. And, you know, we always make space for you to speak, because I look forward to it. And I know you was talking about having a crutch in the familiar when you go to a church. Well, I know that Mum's watching you and cheering you on as well, because she's just sent me a message. So there we are. Alan, as ever, a pleasure. Yeah. And we will see you a little bit later on.
It's always a pleasure to serve, Nick.
Always a pleasure to have you here. Be good, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Carlos, now is the time in our service when we take on board that mediumistic strength and that mediumistic courage, where we send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering. Now, I'm looking down because I have a message that I have been requested to share. I've only got one request this week, but I would like to ask for healing for Amelia, who's just had a baby, and she's been rushed into hospital with chest pains and breathing difficulties. So when we are sending out our healing thoughts, please send out your healing thoughts to Amelia and her family and her newest. So also all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. We know what we're doing now, so let's begin with our healing prayer as we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them, both those we know, those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Now, in but 1 minute and 30 seconds, we will be handing over this service to Carlos, and he's got his 3 recipients all lined up in a row in the studio beneath, ready to receive that communication. But of course, there is other forms of communication, as Lynn mentioned, this international communication that we've experienced. Now, for those of you that remember, and we're working on getting him back soon, Matt Stapley, Reverend Matt Stapley from Canada, in Ontario, in actual fact. We have regular speakings and regular chattings. And one thing that he didn't know about us is that here in the New Christian Spiritualist Society, and especially here in Littleport, love a good excuse for a little bit of glitz, glamour, and a little bit of sprucing up and happiness. And I think we need, especially on today, to remember that each day carries us forward, and that we are truly blessed to be living this life we are living. And Matt's partner Etienne has got a birthday this weekend. Now, we all know that I like celebrating people's birthdays. So, Lynn, turn your volume down a little bit based on what you experienced when you first joined the service, but not completely, because the music's good. But this is our message. Matt, get hold of Etienne, show him this. From all of us here, we say this. Happy birthday, my friend. And yes, blame Matt. He did mention that it was your birthday. You know what? I just think birthdays are wonderful, and any excuse for a celebration is really, really important. So you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you all soon. Now, friends, is the time in our service where we hand over to Carlos and his spirit workers, who will endeavor to prove to us all watching at home and live and in the future that life is indeed eternal. And so I'm now going to, in order of in the studio, because we've had some toings and froings in the background tonight, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to keep track of who was here first. So there's been a lot of fluctuating power lines between here and wherever it is that we're going. I'm just going to pick the first one in the queue. So, Jessica, are you there?
Yes, hi.
How are you, my dear?
Hello, Jessica.
I'm just fine, thank you.
Good. Now, looking at the light outside, we can tell you're in a slightly different time zone because it's pitch
Yes.
right here. So, may we ask, where are you?
I'm in the United States, in Alabama. Southern United.
Fantastic. Is it as sweet home as they say it is?
It's nice. It's very nice,
Good.
especially today. Yeah.
It looks it. The sun coming in is gorgeous. I'm going to go and sulk because I have a vitamin D deficiency, and I envy you greatly, and leave you two to it. See you soon.
Okay.
Right. Hi.
Hi.
This is another surprise to me, to be able to be giving a reading or some kind of connection to people from Alabama. This is great for me. It's unusual, but now during the day today, I have been feeling different things, and I'm pretty certain that I found it unusual, and I think that perhaps I found it unusual because I was going to talk to an unusual person. Right? Now, can you understand a lady that was, I'm going back some time ago, and this lady was very upright lady, incredibly well-dressed and presented. I think that I could be going to grandmother or great-grandmother, in this, because
Yes.
I'm sort of going nearly Edwardian here, yeah,
Yes.
in the English way. Now, but I just feel that this lady must have been a very determined lady and very upright, and she presented herself wearing black to me, right? But as well as that, I just feel that she must have some problem around this area here and around the rib cage, because I just felt that it's something that when I was younger, I would probably restrain everything, but later on, it's like I have got some problems around that area. Can you understand that?
Yes. I think you're talking about my great grandmother.
Yes.
I'm not sure about the problems she
Yeah.
had. Right.
I just feel that she would have been, sporty lady, because I just feel that she would have been quite fit as a person. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason or other, she was showing to me some kind of fencing. You know, fencing with the other. She like fencing, or it was somebody that liked fencing around
Oh,
her.
I don't
You
know
know what
about that.
fencing I'm talking about? Going with the swords, yeah,
Yes.
as a sport, not as a sport. Can you
Yes, I know what you're
understand
talking
something? Can you
about.
understand? Because fencing is something that is you have to synchronize everything. Perhaps she's talking about you. You are trying to sort of focus in a very determined way as to where you want to go. So it's
Yes.
how to explain. You are very determined, but also you are practicing what you want to achieve. Can you understand that? As
Yes.
the meaning of what she was telling me about the fencing. So it's a question of balance, grace, and skills. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, we were talking about mountains earlier on, but as I'm talking to you, I just feeling like rock mountaineering.
Mountaineering.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, no mountaineering. Sorry, rock climbing.
Rock climbing. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I don't
like,
really know anybody. Yeah.
but
Go
it's
ahead.
just okay. Sometimes if you look at, just as I was saying earlier on, the reason why they are giving this to me is that it's a challenge when you are going, because sometimes I feel, how do these people get the ropes up and they can go up? But this going back to this balance that I'm trying to find with you. Can you understand, Jessica,
Yes.
what I'm talking about? Right. But it's like you are not leaving anything to chance. It's like you are very much, because your heart is in what you are trying to do. To me,
Yes.
it's like you are somebody with, you put your five senses in what you are trying to achieve.
Yes.
Right. Can you understand the 15th of April?
15th of April. No.
Is in 5 days' time. I just feel that this is a birthday or an anniversary around the 15th of April.
Okay. I'll have to ask. I don't know right off the top of my head.
All right, doesn't matter. It's just that. Have you been hurt as well?
Have I been what? I'm sorry.
Have you been hurt?
Yes.
Because they just they have taken me. All of a sudden, they have taken me to a crap, and it's like I've got my shell around me. It's like all of a sudden I've been hurt and I need to be shell, right?
Yes.
But with that, sometimes to get to where we have to be, it means that there are things that are in our path that we don't understand why we have to go through these kind of rocky paths or something like that. It's just that sometimes you cannot see the reasons why things are not happening straight away, but they are coming sort of zigzagging or something. One moment you feel, oh, fine, I can see it, and then all of a sudden you get diverted, right? But it's like inertia that pushes you, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm very aware of for the second time, I'm getting the sea. Can you understand the sea?
See,
The sea.
like the ocean, or
Yes, like the ocean.
no, not really.
Well, if I said to you that sometimes when you look at the sea, you see the waves, right? I just got to try to explain to you why they are giving me the sea, but at the same time, is that it's an unknown force that moves the waves. Yeah, it's difficult to understand what is there that makes those waves, right? When everything is calm and all the rest of it, but they're still waves, right? And this is to do, like, they want you to understand something about the energies that they are around you. It's like you have got. Are you trying to develop your mediumship or your
No,
understanding of? Well,
I'm trying to
sorry?
understand. My understanding of it, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you will feel much more settled when when you can see what moves things around you. Because sometimes it baffles you. It's like I've got this kind of baffled things in my head, right? Can you also understand the number 20?
Yes.
No. It's just that it's like they are giving me these sort of reassure you. I don't know what number 20 is or whatever, but to reassure you that there is some connections from out there which are trying to reach out to you to say, you are in the right path, carry on the way that you're going, trying to understand what it's like puppets. There's some strings there, right? But it's just that sometimes we like to be in control, and as I said to you, you are trying so hard, you're putting your 5 senses in doing something, and sometimes these delays and these sort of put you out of this and out of that. But it's just like they because they have shown me the water twice. I just feel that it's like the energy is going through you, is happening. It's just a matter that you got to start believing that it's not just you who is doing it, is that there is other things around you that will help you to find that you are seeking so much from the bottom of your heart. Right? Right. And they are also giving me like cherry blossom. Can you understand cherry blossom?
Yes.
Okay. Again, it's something just to show you that they are very much around you and with you. And even if this is wrapped up, this is the way that they're putting it. But I think that you will understand what I'm saying to you.
Yes.
And somebody is lifting a glass of red wine, right? And he's saying to you, cheers. Yeah. Because to start with, I just felt it was a glass of wine, but I wanted to say white wine, but no, he's like, they have taken me to red wine. Can you understand that? But that is to say to you, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can understand.
Thank you for working with me. God bless.
Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you, Carlos. Well done, mate. And Jessica, thank you for coming on and joining us. You know, I don't normally do this because it's considered extremely rude, but I'd just like to say something to you, if I may. The wonderful thing about the world of spirit is that even though one strong personality tends to push themselves forward, they are never alone when they come to see us. And the one thing I do know about parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents is that they are always bringing little ones with them. And I just wanted to say that to you. So I'll say God bless you. And thank you for being with us. And do stay for the final prayer. I've just got one last question. What time is it for you?
It is 2:35 p.m.
So you've got the rest of the day. See, we'll be going to bed after this, but you've got the rest of the day to mull it all over and have another look as well. So
Yes.
God bless you, my love, and we'll speak to you soon. Oh,
Cheers.
bless her, bless her, bless her, bless her. Right, now, moving swiftly on, the next in the queue. Lisa, are you there?
What?
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Hi. I can hear
Hey,
you.
I'm out. Was that you can or you can't?
I can hear you.
That's excellent. Right, I'll get out the way then, leave you to it.
Brilliant. Lisa, can you understand the name Lottie?
No.
Can you understand? Can you
No, not at the
understand?
moment.
Right? Can you understand Denmark or that sort of one of the Nordic countries? I just feel that there's some connections to a Nordic country.
I can't think at the minute.
Doesn't matter. I just see that the first thing as I was looking at your name, I was having L-O-T or L-O-T-T. Could be a surname, which you just got those.
My surname is Scott. That's the O-double-T.
All right, so it's O-double-T, yeah.
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 My dad.
So
my dad's from Scotland. My dad was Scottish.
yes.
I don't know if that.
All right. It's just that I just feel that it's some connections to Nordic there somewhere, and whether the name, your son's name, is connected to Nordic names or whatever. But I just had that, and I had sort of a cold place. Like this is why I went to. So if he comes from Scotland, does he come from the northern part of Scotland?
He was from. Where was he from? He was from sort of Aberdeen, Clydebank, Glasgow way.
Oh, Glasgow. Well, I don't know. Sorry, I just thought that I was in a northern country. So Scotland is northern. Sometimes is.
My dad spent many years over in Holland. He was over in over in Holland for many years. I don't know. I just felt
that I was going to Northern Europe, but that is not the end. I just trying to sort of get into something that they are trying to tell me. Right now, can you understand somebody who hanged himself?
Pardon?
Can you understand a man who hanged himself?
Not a minute. Can't think.
Right, because I just got that something terrible happened to this man, and he couldn't get to grasp with things, and he was mentally affected, and he did away with himself. I just feel that it was something to do with not being able to accept what happened. Either he did it, or he had suicidal thoughts, because things that happened to him, he couldn't overcome them very easily. It's like something did happen where this man was totally, and I'm getting somebody who will be late 50s. I feel that this man would have wore a jacket, but not necessarily in a smart suit, but he would, because he presented himself to me with a jacket and a tie, but not necessarily on a smart suit, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. I can't think at the moment of who you
All right.
mean.
Sorry, because I'm just giving you what he's given to me. And if you cannot take that, Nick, can somebody take somebody who hung himself? Can you ask the rest of the congregation if because I just got this guy that you know tied the knot. Are you with me?
Is there anybody downstairs waiting who can understand this message, or is there anyone at home watching who can understand this message? No. We have someone whose grandfather took his own life, but not hanging.
Okay, I just feel that somebody thought of doing it that way, but then eventually, but he took his own life. I just feel that the loss of life and the suicidal tendencies, and was it sort of late 50s or thereabouts?
Oh, and we've got someone here, Tracy, her uncle did oh bless him, on a tree. And then there's such a lot of it about, unfortunately. Christina, bless her nephew, about 3 months ago.
I want somebody who was late 50s.
Tracy's was not
very young. I don't want somebody who is young.
Yeah, no, not in the 50s. Bless them. Well, I'm sure that somebody at home will understand and accept him, and we should thank him for coming and letting himself be known.
Right. Okay, Lisa, come back to you. Can you understand the number 23?
No. No, not at the moment.
Not a birthday or an anniversary. 23rd. In fact, I think I'm talking about 23rd of April.
No. No.
Right. Can you understand somebody who was somebody's making me aware of the cane? You know, a cane, like I don't know if somebody had a very rudimentary fishing cane, rather than a smart sort of somebody who liked fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, right now, with this, the person that is coming with this, he seems to have some problems with his stomach.
Yeah.
Because I seem to have a lot of heartburn and uncomfortable digestive system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, can you also understand that I have been shown, like, if I have got a long sleeve shirt, right? But that has been cut, and I have got it. I make it into a short-sleeved shirt. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just that it's very peculiar. But as well as that, this person is showing me that he had it's like they suffer a loss. Because as I'm given in the transition between having the long sleeve and the short sleeve, right? I get like a black armband here, like some, like showing that they had a loss, very close loss.
Mhm.
Can you understand that?
I think
Right.
so.
Yes. Now, I feel that you sometimes smell people around you at home. It's like you cannot understand all of a sudden why this smell comes, and you think, well, perhaps I need to put some fresh air freshener or something, because you get that it's just spirit coming to visit you, and you sense in that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Now, are you a good nurse or good at nursing?
Yeah.
Because it's like they're giving me some lint, and you are sort of cleaning a wound on an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Now,
understand that.
I've got. They're giving me a book that to me is like a book that belonged to somebody else, but all of a sudden it's like you pick it up, and it makes there's this question that why are they reading this, and you start reading it yourself, and then you see certain answers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's like your head at the moment is like you are receiving a lot of information. I feel that here I get lots of ideas, lots of things being brought in, and all kinds of things, and it's like at the moment you're not relaxing into it, but it's all there, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I'm drinking something and it's giving me a very bitter taste. It's like I'm having some kind of I don't know, infusion of some sort. I just wanted something like sometimes you take different fruit teas or something like that, but there is something that as I try is bitter. Can you understand that?
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has got good. It's good for the body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Now, can you understand a boy and a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm getting them at the age of sort of 3 or 4, and there's not much difference in age between them. But it seems that the girl has got curly hair.
Okay.
And it's like this little girl can see things. It's like she's aware of something. Because
Okay.
it's like she's talking to spirit.
Okay.
Can you also? There is somebody here who used to like playing bingo.
Used to like, sorry?
somebody here that used to like playing bingo. To me, this looks like a lady,
Yeah.
which is sort of like a grandmother type of lady, because I just like I feel the number 17 and 27. I don't know why, but they come to mind. It's like somebody's calling the numbers, right? And the number 17, for some reason or other, it is a number that I can see very on the balls.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I've got a wooden ball, and the number 17 is engraved on it. I don't know why. She's showing this to me. Right. Good. Well, you also understand that I don't want to, but did this lady liked peppermint?
Peppermint?
Yeah, you know the peppermint squash.
Yeah.
It's like whatever I'm having, I like to have it with peppermint for some reason or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that she's trying to tell me that she liked gatherings and family getting together, and that she will for the time that she's talking about, she would be the sort of person that she would try things like having a glass of wine.
Yeah.
It's like I in parties and things like that. I like the old German wine. I don't know why she's shown this to me, but it's like I'm having a glass of pork or something, whatever it's Liefraumich or Son of or Blue Nan or Black Tar, I don't know, but that sort of thing. And it's just like she loves. She's the sort of person that sometimes is remembered when there's family gatherings, because she would have been quite the heart and soul of the party, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She would roll up her skirt and dance if needed be, even if she was making a fool of herself, but she liked people to be happy, right?
Yeah.
And was she at your wedding?
At my wedding?
Yes.
I haven't had a wedding yet. I'm not married yet.
She will be. She will be.
I just feel she's talking about a wedding, and to me, it is like she was at your wedding. But if you haven't had it yet, she will be there when you are.
There was a wedding anniversary party where she made. She was the soul of the party. It's the best way to put it.
Oh, okay. Well, that is okay. Thank you. You are confirming what she's making me feel.
That party is very much remembered because of her behaviour and her singing, if you like.
Yeah, she was jolly. She was over the top. She probably roll up a skirt, Oogie's a monkey.
Yes.
But did she make everybody have a good time? And this is what she's telling me. And the reason why she's coming is she wants to uplift you, right? Because at the moment it's like you need that. You need to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Comprende?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. She's making me aware. Can you understand? She's all of a sudden giving me a bird's nest.
Giving you what, sorry?
A bird's nest.
Oh, been there. Don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Right. I've got little birds in the nest, and they are waiting to be fed. They are with the birds with their little mouths open, and they are in the nest.
Right. Okay.
Did she like birds? I'm not trying to make it food. It's just that I mean, it could be that this is related to Easter, because usually at Easter you have got all the things to do with nesting and birds and all the rest of it. And sometimes Easter is, but do you remember Easter? Though it's the different times of the month. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
she was an
sometimes
animal.
April.
She was an animal lover through and through. She loved all animals, really. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's making me aware of with little birds, his new life, right?
Yeah.
But they have to be fed and they're a little bit dependable, if you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
just like, can you understand the reason for these that she's talking about this?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
This is why I said that sometimes you need to take the essence of what is being said, right? Because I just feel that she's around you, but also I think that there's some connections at this time of the month or this time of the year, right? And she's just coming to you and she's trying to say to you, I'm around you, I'm with you.
Okay.
Right. And also, this is odd because before I go, she's bringing me memory of Christmas as well.
Okay.
And this is in the form of a little tree. Right? You see a little tree in a card or a little ornament to do with the Christmas tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just be confident that she's around you, and she wants you to be. She wants to bring a smile or two. She's coming around sometimes, and this is when you know and you think like you want to open the door. I just feel I want to open the door to let the fresh air in, right? And it's it's one way of her being around you. I don't know why she's bringing this. She started with this thing of the air being a little bit different, but it's just for you to understand that it's the time to say, well, thank you, and say something to her. So that you can do with the advice, and she will answer to you. She will come back and tell you what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Bless you.
God bless you.
Bless you, and
you
thank
very
you,
much.
Carlos and Lisa. Thank you. And I would imagine, based off what I've been given in the comments, that she was also the kind of lady that would say, "Oh, don't you worry about me. You push in front of me and get your message across, whether they're there or not." She was an interfering what's it like that, because there's a couple of people that can take the information. Christina and Tracy, the gentleman that you were describing, Carlos, accurately matches both of them. And I would imagine, being the interfering what's it that Grandma was, the organizing people, that she would have just sat back and said, "You know what, boys, you go with you. You're both very similar. You get in there and you get your message across. They're watching now. Hurry up." And that's probably the kind of lady she was, because they both Tracy and Christina could accept that. So that's what they're like up there. If they were a gas bag, if they were and Christina could take all of the info, actually. So when you do get crossovers like that and similarities in people, it's literally that magnetism between the spirits as a personality. So she would have definitely let them in and had a word or two.
The gentleman I was talking about has been with me since this afternoon.
Yeah.
Right.
You see. Yeah.
And
so the good news is, Carlos, he's got his message across, which is the main thing. And of course, Lisa's got her message as well. So God bless you, my lovely. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. Now we've got one more message. Oh, I got a bit of an echo there. It must have been from me. We've got one more message to give, and Jackie, she's been sitting so patiently after her trials and tribulations of technology. But before that, of course, we know what time. I like that, actually. I'm just going to nick that before we go to that all-important time. Frugality of spirit. Christina, you're so right. And yet, Tracy, rewatch. So, we need to know what time it is. And we know who to ask for that. Hannah, what time is it? Bully's special prize. Absolutely. Now, we've got quite an international field tonight. So if anyone's never seen Bullseye, Google it. Their final big prize was always Bully's special prize. We stole that for our raffle. Hannah stole that from me. And now she's doing it every week on our services to indicate that we are now at the last message. So I hope you're both all right. Well, all four of you, of course.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent stuff. Well,
Miss you,
always
Lord.
a pleasure.
Miss you, Lord, Hannah. Ages.
Bless you. Well, we will see you, all four of you, at the end of the service for the closing prayer. But for now, thank you and see you in a bit.
Bye.
Well, we now move swiftly on to our final. We've got about 10 minutes left, which is usually a good amount for the usual length of message. So, Jackie, please tell me you're still there.
I am.
Yes, it's still working. Good. Because I did see you drop out briefly, and I was like, oh no. Right, before it disappears again, I'm getting out of the way.
Right.
Hi,
Evening,
Jackie.
Carlos.
How are
I
you?
am. I'm fine, thank you.
Jackie, can you take somebody who had an amputation of a leg?
Yes.
Right hand?
Yeah.
Right. With these, I've got two people. I've got a lady and a gentleman. I think it's the lady who lost the leg. I might be wrong. But I've got the two of them coming together.
Do you know what I can't? No, it was a gentleman.
Okay, the gentleman lost the leg, but the lady is how to explain? It feels to me like this gentleman did he have for a period an extension to the leg with a wooden leg?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well, the lady that I'm talking about is coming because she would have been very affected by what he's suffering. Yeah. And I just got the two of them together. And it's like, just recently, things has happened around you that you have been thinking often, or you have been seeking some kind of help.
Mm.
And they are trying to say to you that they are around you, and that now, do you know what why I'm getting boiled sweets?
Yeah.
And it, to me, you know, sometimes they give you an image, but to me, it's like they are wrapped in cellophane. But to me, it's like they are something particular, nearly homemade.
Yeah.
Now, but just as have you got a sweet tooth? Because as well as that, I can see some cupcakes here.
I have, but I shouldn't have. I'm diabetic, but I have.
Well, this is the very reason why they are saying that, you know, there's a sweet tooth, But sometimes we have to indulge in something. We cannot sort of be good all the time. But it's just that if we understand ourselves, but it's just that to me, it feels like something needs curtains down. Is that I want to draw the curtain on something.
Yeah.
Can you understand?
Yeah.
It's like you know that you cannot change things, and you just got to say, forget it. Yeah. Yeah, because I think that you will give to me. It's like they put in my mouth straight away: self-respect, self-preservation. Yeah. Because the thing is that while you are worrying about this thing and the other, it doesn't do your diabetes any good.
No.
And I just feel that it has been a lot of tears. Right. All of a sudden, I'm being made aware of a necklace. Right. And this necklace has got like an initial, and the initial is M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you also understand a lady who would have been a nurse during the war? Or soon after that? Because I just feel that the uniform that I can see in this lady is more sort of, is an old type of uniform. It's not for nurses. They are much different these days. But I just feel, I don't know if I'm talking about the Red Cross or something like that, because I just feel that there's that sort of nurse here.
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I remember a memory of somebody mentioned my great grandma.
Yeah, because I just feel that she was trained on the old way. Like somebody has gone to St. Thomas or something like that, and really be trained, and she would have been, I feel that there's compassion, but at the same time, it's a great understanding of the problems that people are going through when they are, I don't know if it's in the battlefield or just after, and having to sort of, as well as that, it's as well people that were mentally affected. Because she's making me aware that she would have great empathy with people that has been shell shock or something of the sort. I mean, it's the first time I'm feeling anything like this, but she's making me aware of that.
Yeah.
And this is why she's coming forth, because at this point you can do with that sort of strength.
Yeah.
And understanding. Yeah. Can you also understand that I'm trying to thread a needle?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with that needle, they have given me different colors, which I suppose is embroidery more than likely. But the first color they're giving me is blue, light blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with this, I want to do initials, nice flowery initials, like in a blouse or something like that. Yeah. I feel that okay, I have been, they're making me aware that the hurt that is in me is being stitched. So it's not going to disappear, but it's going to be helped by the laugh and the healing that is coming with this sort of closing of the scars, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I can see that not in the very long distant future, you're going to be looking up and saying thank you for all the help that you have given me.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, you know what is a tumbler? You know, sometimes when you have whiskey or something like that, right? But I want to put, though this glass doesn't match the drink that they are giving me, right? They're giving me port, but usually you serve port in a different glass. But it's like I'm drinking port in a tumbler. Whether I'm missing it with brandy or something, I don't know. But it's just that I'm right.
Yeah.
And, right. It's just, they're little signs, because I just feel that they are so close to me at the moment, right? It's because they are reaching here, because they if I was in the church with you, I just will feel that I want to go put my arms around you and tell you how much love is coming for you.
Thank you.
Okay? God bless you.
Thank you.
And that is the only way to drink port, I have to say. God bless you. Thank you for coming on, Jackie. Wow, what a character to finish with. Thank you. And thank you, Carlos, for excellent. Jackie, it's been a pleasure to finally put a face to the name.
Thank you.
See your comments all the time. You're always sharing things and everything. So it's nice to finally see these faces. That's the only hard part about being online, other than not being able to go over and give everybody a hug, of course. But it's so good to see you on, and thank you for joining us. And I hope that has been a benefit. Certainly giving you a good old giggle.
It's really glad.
Brilliant. Bless your heart. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Bless you. Oh, Carlos, as ever. Truly thank you. What a wonderful evening, and thank you to everyone. I must add this because it doesn't happen very often. Thank you to everyone who's been donating to the church. I did open the page, but there's this thing that keeps getting in the way. Shirley and Christina and James. And there's been so many people that donate to help keep things going, because although we don't have to pay £30 a night, we do pay £30 a month. So it's all very much of great help, and we're very much appreciative of those donations that will help keep the shop open, shall we say, when we get to go back in the hall. Because I have every intention of continuing with broadcasts as well, because we cannot abandon our online congregation, and we never will. And I'm sure there's a young lady that will have something to say about that, and a few words to say to you too, Carlos. Reverend Lynn, are you there?
I am. Well done for everybody. And it's always very difficult, isn't it? This virtual situation where, as mediums, usually when we're working on a platform, of course, during an ordinary service, we're free to sort of, be prompted by our spirit guides and helpers to go to particular people in the congregation. And in this case, of course, because of the situation, we call people on to, who go into that raffle every week, to actually be the recipient of a communication from a loved one in spirit. And of course, the thing is this, that what we know is that for everybody that is actually watching and participating in this event, there are all their people also watching and trying to participate in this event on the other side of life. So if only we could explain to people, that there's all these people up there representing all the people down here who are all anxious to get a message across. And there's one poor medium stuck in the middle like a little pinpoint and being the recipient of all this, conglomeration of all that stuff. And, while I'm sitting here and listening to you and listening to your helpers too, Carlos, getting all that information through. And I know that there's sort of been 2 or 3 people there, as well as the ones that have been directly linked to the person you're communicating with. So you've got all this different stuff coming in. And, I was wanting to say to you, I can hear them all shouting at you. So how you could actually differentiate one from another was a miracle, really. And I mean, even all that stuff about the ocean, and I could see clearly there's somebody shouting at me, Mississippi, Mississippi. And I thought, well, I'm not having anything to do with this, sorry. So I was just delighted, actually, that it was you, Carlos, that was the recipient, the receiving end of all this stuff, and not me. Because what I could hear was all this, stuff like, I mean, not just Mississippi, but other stuff when you were trying to give stuff across, and, and somebody was placing rocks and boulders in somebody's way. They'd been, having obstacles put in their pathway, and you were getting obstacles put in your pathway, and then there was all them on the other side who were really, everybody, it was like a free-for-all, wasn't it? So, I really I felt, incumbent upon me to actually explain that to people who are watching this demonstration of mediumship, which, of course, yes, it was excellent, because you were able to sort of try and, separate up all these people. There was a clamour of people trying to get through, and it was just amazing, actually. And I hope that those who are clairvoyant or clairsentient or whatever, clairaudient, in the congregation tonight, because you are all in the congregation regardless of where you're sitting in your own homes or outside in the park, it's all the same here. And for those who will be watching as well after we've actually closed, if you like, for the evening, in the future, that they need to know that there's all these people over on the spirit side of life who love them and who really, clamour to get through at times like this. And I thought you did a splendid job of trying to sort it all out.
Absolutely.
And, given that I could hear all sorts of goings on as well. And I'm sure that I know that Reverend Nick did, because he sort of steamed in, didn't he, with a couple of things as well that he got hold of. And I'm hoping that everybody will totally embrace the concept that you are indeed a medium, that you are indeed listening to the voices of spirit and receiving information from the spirit side of life. It's just so very, very hard to separate individuals out from their messages on the other side, and then you've got to deliver them through. And as we know, you've got 2 or 3 other people for other people that were watching that haven't actually been invited onto this platform, as it were. So I can only say that we can only
they also got the
praise
message.
God that this happens. Yes, but so when we do eventually get you onto one of our platforms again, Carlos, you can then at least have your own choice, and then them upstairs can say to you, and go to that person in the woolly hat.
Absolutely.
as well as going out and giving everybody a hug.
What was Carlos trying to say to me? Carlos, what were you trying to say?
No, but I was trying to say that sometimes those people that are not, they haven't been on the readings, but they still proves that there is somebody there that is trying to communicate with them. So at the end of the day, we got to accept that, okay, they haven't been face to face with us, but by the same token, I'm pretty certain the gentleman who hung himself, it was somebody there that he needed to say.
Oh yes, of course, yes. There's somebody out there who isn't able to receive him at the minute. But the point is this: what we know as well, the wonderful thing about spirit that people must know is that from their vantage point, they can actually see what we call the future, and they will know, that person will know that their loved one is going to listen to this at some point. We don't know when, but they will know that he was there and that he was sending his love through to them. So, it's just we have to be selfless about all this. It's not just mediums who have to let their ego go out of the way in case it gets in the way, but the people who are watching as well need to have that open mind so that they can receive that information for themselves and that love that comes to them. And thank you so much, Carlos, for giving us every demonstration of that. So God bless you, and I hope that everybody's enjoyed what they've received.
Thank you.
And for the future.
I can certainly confirm that everyone has indeed had a truly uplifting and evidential and truly energetic, and there's a word I don't use very often, evening. So thank you, Carlos, as ever. You are one of our longest suffering friends.
I look forward to seeing him again with a haircut.
Yes, well, I'm going to say we've only a few days left and we can all have one. Please,
Yes.
God, I just want to get the side sorted, but there we go.
Look at all these curls. Look.
Actually, somebody said that you were a bit like Superman with that lovely curl at the front there.
I can assure you that I've tried to get it out of the way, but it doesn't want to go.
Well, it never could for Clark Kent either. So there we are. Well, friends, it is that time of the evening. The time has come, as the song says, to say goodnight. So everyone who has managed to keep their connection, come on back up. It's time to say goodnight. And I know that my lovely little Hannah there, she's getting ready for bed because it's well past your bedtime, young lady. We have run on a little bit tonight, but, it is worth it every time. And those that said that they might not be able to continue, I've just seen commenting, so they managed it too. Well, God bless them, God bless us, and God bless every one of you that has joined us tonight, but will also join us in the future for this 1 hour and will be 41 minutes by the time we're done. It goes without saying thank you to everyone who's taken part, to Carlos, to Lynn, to Jackie, to Sam, to Alan, also, of course, to Lisa, and certainly our newest friend from over the pond, Jessica, who came on board as well. And a big happy birthday in the next couple of days to Matt Etienne, who I'm sure will be preferred to be referred to as just Etienne because he doesn't belong to anybody. But thank you all at home for being part of this wondrous adventure into truth that we seek to endeavour every week here from the Fens. And so let us join together as we say our closing prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends and to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship. I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, all those watching at home and all those that will watch at home, so that your love might build a web across the world of light, of upliftment, and of truth. And until we meet again, Great Spirit, we make that statement as ever, that not only everything we do will be in love and truth and light, but when times are tough, we ask you not to move the mountain, just give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again in your name, Great Spirit. Amen.
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 Well, once again, thank you to everyone. Love you all watching at home. Do watch out for some more information. Tracy's going to help raise some money. She's shown me some lovely pictures of knitted things, and I know Sam and Hannah have been making things as well. That's all saleable and added towards the funds to keep the doors or the internet service provider open. Until next week, my friends, when we will be back Thursday night from Littleport. God bless you. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. And we will see you all soon. Good night.
God bless.
Bye. Thank you.
And eventually I'll find the right button. Here we go. Night-night. you.